Welcome back, everybody, to another ROM preview. This is Cataclysm Marshmallow. This is, I think, the second or third build. Um, I'm not 100% sure on that. It is at least the second build. Um, the last one I did on Cataclysm was in Lollipop, and I did say that I was going to stop doing Marshmallow builds until there were more features added, because most of the Marshmallow builds that I've been doing are just all the same, with the exception of Mellow Shamu, which I am running as my primary right now. And I started looking through the threads, and I noticed this one, and started looking at the changelog and what was added. It's unbelievable what all is on here. When they said that they have everything enabled from Lollipop, I had to give it a try and see. And yeah, pretty much everything that was in Lollipop is on here. So there's a lot of customizations on here. The first thing I want to get into right off the bat, we're going to go to About Phone, and we're going to see this is Android version 6.6 or Marshmallow. As you can see, there's our Easter egg. Touch and hold the Easter egg, and we have our flappy Android game. And see, I can't make it past 2. But anyways, I'm not here to show you the flappy Android game. The build is, it's October 1st build, and again, the build number is MRA58K. Which basically stands for Android Lollipop or Android Marshmallow. So, um, I am running a Benzo core. That's not the core that comes with it. If I'm not mistaken, it's Elite Kernel. And the kernel's, again, another good kernel. It's set up to run with multi-ROM and everything. The reason I'm running Benzo, though, is I want that Mako hot plug. I'm not going to get into that much in this discussion. I'd rather talk about the ROM, so let's go ahead and get into the ROM. But let me just say that if you download this ROM, GApps are included. The kernel will work in here. It is not enforcing, so I mean, it's one of those ROMs where you flash the ROM, reboot, and you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and get into this. If you notice under About Phone, remember I showed you guys on the last Marshmallow video that you can enable your UI settings by going up here to your upper right, where your settings gear is located, and touching and holding it. Well, you enable a different feature in this ROM, and it's basically it enables all of the custom features. Okay, but I'm not going to go into them right now, because actually you can get to them without even holding that gear. If you just scroll all the way up here to Cataclysm settings, all the settings are there. So you don't have to touch and hold the gear, although that gear will take you to that. Let's go to the developer options. We're going to roll down here and let you see what all is in the developer options. Again, it's pretty basic. The enable multi-window function is not in here, but it is in the ROM. You have to go to the you have to go to the Cataclysm settings, but you can enable them or enable your multi-window in that. But I do want to scroll down and let you guys see what all is in the developer options. I know that when I'm looking at a ROM review, I like to see what is here. Let's see, date and time, pretty standard. By the way, the theme I am running is Magpie. Again, I'm running the translucent theme for Magpie, and the wallpaper is Oceans HD. I thought I'd mix it up the last couple reviews and throw on some live wallpaper. Um, that way it's not quite, quite as stale, I guess is a good word to use. Under language and input, again, this ROM, like Mellow, came with a bunch of different keyboards. I went in and used an app that I use. It's a go-to app for me. It is called Uninstall. Uh, Basically, if you go to the Play Store and type in system apps or uninstall system apps, this is the one that comes up. So I use this. It's a good, solid app. It does have advertisements, but it works. The advertisements aren't obnoxious. When you're done doing what you do and you get ready to get out of the program, the advertisement pops up, and then you can just X out of it and go. So it's there, but it's not that bad. It does work. It gets rid of any system app you want to get rid of. It will get rid of it. So I use it a lot. We'll go back into system. We were at language and input. So I did download Google Keyboard, and I went into uninstall system apps, that app I downloaded, and I got rid of all those other. I think there were 4 other keyboards. You had a Japanese, a Hindi, Korean, and there was another one too. And I got rid of them. I don't need the keyboards in those languages. It's just taking up space on my drive, so I got rid of them. Under security, again, fairly basic. You have your unknown sources. You can encrypt the phone if you would like. I haven't heard any feedback from anybody that has encrypted their phone or that is encrypted and is running Marshmallow yet. I did hear some things that under, at least on Lollipop, on this phone, the Nexus 6, that it would slow the system down somewhat. But then you get, different stories conflicting, where one person would say it didn't, the other person would say it did. I don't encrypt my phone. I don't need it. I don't care who sees what I have on my phone, and I don't need to be that secure. So it is what it is. If you run it, great. Again, it's Android. It's another option, and that's what I love, options. Again, this does have tap and pay if you use it. It does have the memory management system in it, where you can look and see what's using your memory. Storage and USB. And I don't have my USB dongle on me. I was going to show you that on this video, and I forgot to grab it. So my next video, I'll show you. My next Marshmallow video, I will show you how this function works. Whenever you plug in an OTG cable or a dongle with an SD card reader on it, yeah, it's pretty cool. Sound and notifications. Pretty basic. Here's your other sound settings. I've turned off the touch sounds and the vibrate on touch. I usually run them, but when I do videos, I like to shut them off. That way it doesn't blow you guys' eardrums out. You don't need to hear the click, click, click. It does get obnoxious sometimes, so I turn it off. Under advanced options... Oh, okay. Another really cool thing about this ROM is they have your notification lights enabled, which is really cool. Now in Mellow, you can enable your notification lights, but you have to flash a zip for that. This ROM already has it in it, baked right in, and we will get to that. Under display, there you have your adaptive brightness, wallpaper, your sleep mode. Under wallpaper, of course, these are not what you're going to get. I have a lot of my stuff already downloaded. Let's see, your ambient display, you can enable it if you want. I have mine enabled. I've been using it, just at least testing it. Once my testing is done, I do shut it off. I don't like my phone coming on, and showing messages and stuff. But I have it on now just to see how the feature works. So far, with this ROM, it is working great. Just like Mellow ROM, it was working great. Then you have cast screen. Of course, then under home, this is where you would go to change your launchers at. If you put any custom launchers on or whatever, this is where you would switch your home. Right now I'm running Nova 3.3. That is my go-to launcher. Now we're going to get into the part of the ROM and the part of the video that I like, and that is the custom settings. And here they are. We're going to start out with the quick settings. So far now, I had an issue with Lollipop setting up my quick settings, and when I would set them up or add tiles or remove tiles, and it would work great until I ran a theme. As soon as I hit that reboot button, it came back on. Then I got system UI faults, terrible system UI faults, and I tracked it down to this, but I am happy to say that it's working. It's working just fine. And this is just like Lollipop. By clicking on here, you add that. This is what is left of what I didn't add, and this is what I have on. And they are updating this ROM. As a matter of fact, I saw the changelog, and they had other features added in it on the 19th. So the next update is going to have even more features added. So that's great. This is another ROM that I like a lot. Your quick pull down, you can have that set to, to pull down from the right, left, and all that. I have mine set up to pull down from the right. You have your haptic feedback, which I have enabled. You can hide labels. Let's see here. And you can change the size and the columns, with the scale and the columns. That basically gives you that option to go with a 4-column or a 5-column or however you want to do that. You can enable or disable the brightness slider, which I want on. I don't know why I didn't have it on. Is it there? Let me see now. There it is. Oh, that was to disable it. Okay, my bad. And let's go back. That was the quick settings. Now the lock screen. Here are your settings on the lock screen. You have your left shortcut, your right shortcuts. The use black and white icons. I have that off. I don't like the black and white icons. Your opacity. You can change that to what you want. Let's see, your security input priority. Like I said, my phone is not secure at all. At least not when I'm testing. Now, when I do pick a ROM and stay with it, if I'm going on a trip, yes, I lock my phone down. Here you have all your you can disable the album art, which I am going to do that. I don't play a lot of music on my phone. I use my car for that. I do have an MP3 player I use. That's not to say I don't ever play music on my phone, but I don't need all that. But it's there, and it's great. I do have my rotation enabled. It does work. Let's see. But that's a lot of settings for your lock screen. You have to double tap to sleep on the lock screen. Yes, this video is going to be a little long. They do have a lot of features. I want to go over all of them. Then you have your in-call blocker, where you can actually set that up to block some of the calls coming in and do with what you want. Set up your whitelist, your blacklist, so on and so on. There we go. You have your smart timeout. That, I think, is for your nav bars. Then you have your animation speeds, and that you can find in your settings. I can't even think. Yeah, But this is found in the other settings on here. You know, and this is gonna make me mad. I gotta go back. Yeah, in the developer options. Sorry, guys. I don't know where my head was at. But anyways, I do not edit things out, so it's staying. Okay, status bar. Now here's where you can enable and disable features in your status bar. You have a sleep button. I have mine enabled. The clear all notifications button. Again, there you have that. Your center clock. I am using the center clock. Then you have your AM PM. I would like to see a day in there. I'm just used to seeing that in Lollipop. I'm sure it will come eventually. Then you have your battery text. Let's see here. Your battery style. USB debugging. You know, whether you want to show it or not. And of course this is. Let me see here. Oh, and your hotspot. All this. But this section here is where you would enable or disable features to show in your status bar. And there's a lot of features. I'm telling you, it's great. And by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I am running the 3-minute battery mod. It does work great on this. I had no issues at all with it. All right, nav bar settings. You can resize it. I've noticed that the buttons don't resize. The only thing that resizes is the actual area. I like to keep that as small as I can. That gives me more screen real estate. But you guys can do with it what you want. There's the resize effects in portrait. You know, you can have it only do it in portrait or landscape. I only want it to resize if I resize it in portrait. Then you have your soft keys fade mod, where if you enable it, it will make your navbar keys slowly fade away. Um, I'd rather have them there where I can see them. And then you guys can see the rest of the settings, which are pretty cool. Like I said, this ROM is definitely packed with a lot of custom features. This ROM, I would have to say, has the most custom features in it among all of the Marshmallow ROMs out there. If you want your custom features, this is the ROM right now with them. I'm pretty sure, though, that Beans will be catching up very soon. The Pure Nexus project will be having quite a few modifications on them, but I can tell you guys right now that Beans will not release anything unless it has been tested, thoroughly tested, and then retested. So it takes a while for him to release something. Here are your battery saver options. Then you have your NFC polling mode. Then you can pick where you want your clear all recents buttons, which is cool. Thank God we finally got a clear all recents button. I do like that. LED control, guys. Here it is. And it works. It works very, very good. I've been testing it pretty much all day. I flashed this ROM early this morning, and it's been working great. When I get a notification, I get that green light up there in my top speaker, and I know I have a notification. I don't have to rely on, um, on my screen popping up when it's sitting there, or just physically going in and checking it. So those settings are there. You have your notification control. Yeah, and the wake features. That's what I meant. Yeah. I normally do not use that, the ambient, but when you don't have your light, your notification lights working, that's about the only thing you have left to give you any kind of an idea whether or not you have any messages, is that ambient. So it's nice to have the LEDs working because, like I said, once I'm done with testing, I will be shutting it off, running it for a while with it like that. App ops. You do have your app ops. They are in here. You can do all your changes. Mess with whatever you want. They're there. By the way, that browser I flashed myself. I didn't flash it. It's just an app. I pulled it out of another ROM, and I don't have to. I don't have to like make a folder, put it in the folder. And then grant permissions. This one it's just like an app. You hit it, install it, it's good to go. Here's your per app settings. Then the miscellaneous tweaks. And there are a pile of them here, man. I'm going to go very, very slow. I'm not going to read them all, but I'm just going to scroll down here through them and let you guys see them. Look, they even have the upside down rotation. That's pretty cool, too. That'll throw your nav bars on the bottom. Everything will flip. It's pretty cool. And here's where you see your multi-window down here. I have mine enabled. And then they have a feature they call backup cataclysmic settings, which is basically a settings backup. It is exactly what it says it is. You hit it, it will ask you, are you sure to make a setting? You say yes. It's going to ask you to name it. You name it, hit save, and it'll save your settings. That way, if you flash another ROM or if you update, and if you do an update like I do, I always clean flash. I wipe everything, data, everything, and then reload the ROM right from the start and start over. But I flash a lot of ROMs, and it's I have to wipe everything. But if you do, then all you do is bring this back up. After you save it, you would go to restore, and you click yes, and it depending on how many different settings you would set, because you could actually have three, four, or five, or more different settings. Name them like LED on, LED off, whatever, and you could switch between the settings. It's a cool feature to have. There's an app on the market that does something like that, but apps are nice that you can download from the Play Store. But if the developer can bake it into the ROM, it's much better because then it was tested. It was tested with the ROM. If there was any issues with it, the testers tell the developer, we have an issue, and then they work on it. So it's nice to have the feature baked in. I would love to see a battery bar in this. I'm sure it'll come eventually. Right now, I'm running my app from the Play Store, Team Battery Bar Pro. That's why I have a battery bar. And last but not least is about Cataclysm. And this is going to tell you where you can contact the developer, the official thread for this. Of course, the PayPal donate, and I highly recommend that you guys donate. Um, you know, even a dollar. If everybody who downloaded this ROM would just donate $1, $1, that would be his server costs for the year probably. And a little bit of cash for him maybe to go have a drink or two. Um, and it lets the developer know that his work is appreciated. I'm gonna get off this soapbox of preaching about donating, but it's important to donate. Use the app, try it out. But if you're gonna use it on a daily basis, and you're updating and you're constantly updating, give the developer at least a dollar. If you can't and you can't afford it, that's fine. Hit the thanks button. Put a reply in there that great ROM, man. I really really appreciate it. I wish I had the money to donate, but all right, I'm off my soapbox. Um, that is about it. I'm gonna tell you again, guys. This is a very very nice ROM. Like I said, the custom features alone is like it's what I like. This is the kind of ROM I look for. Um, Now, am I going to run this as my daily driver? Um, Maybe. I may actually flash this. I'm going to try to flash this in a secondary slot. I really like Mellow ROM. Um, I'm not saying Mellow is better than this or this is better than Mellow. There's just something about the Mellow ROM for now that I like about it. But again, this this ROM is an outstanding build. Kudos to the developer on this. Again, all the other people, all the other developers, and all the other Marshmallow ROMs have nothing on this ROM as far as customizations go. This is it. You guys like customizations? This ROM is it. Well, guys, sorry it went so long, but I will put a link in the description for the ROM. Again, for the kernel that I'm using. Although, again, guys, the kernel that comes with the ROM is an outstanding kernel in its own right. You don't need a custom kernel. I use the kernel that I use because of the Mako hot plug. That's it, and that's the only reason. But I'll put a link for the kernel. I'll put a link for this wallpaper that I'm running. I might even put a link in for the icons that I'm running. These icons that I'm running are called cube icons. So I'll put a link in the description for those as well. I accidentally hit the pause button right there in the middle. And I hope you guys liked the video. Again, remember, guys, I don't edit my videos, so when I screw up, it's in here. And hopefully you liked it, and I will see you on the next one.